Alright guys, my name is Amanda and this is my video assignment for the urinary production system. So I'm going to walk you through all the structures and then I will talk about the steps of urinary production. So the blood flow comes in through the arteries and through the veins, which go into the afferent and efferent arteries, which then supply the glomerulus capillaries with blood flow. This goes down into the proximal convoluted tubules, which then transitions into the descending loop of Henle. Bottom is the loop of Henle, and then it goes up into the ascending loop of Henle, which transitions into the distal convoluted tubules, which then turns into the collecting tubules, to the collecting duct, which turns down into the minor and major calyxes in the kidney. These are the nephron loops, and then the blood vessels that surround the loop of Henle is called the vasa recta. And in here you can find the particular capillaries. So urine formation goes through 4 steps: filtration, reabsorption, secretion, and then conservation. So filtration happens in the glomerulus, so right here. And what happens is these arteries, which come from the arteries and the veins, bring in blood to be filtered by the glomerulus capillaries. What passes through those capillaries is water, fatty acids, electrolytes, vitamins, amino acids, glucose, and nitrogen wastes such as urea, uric acid, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. The next step, which is a reabsorption, happens in the proximal convoluted tubules first. So right about here is where water is starting to be reabsorbed, and then here some of the solutes start to be reabsorbed, and those solutes include glucose, amino acids, sodium chloride, calcium ions, potassium ions, bicarbonate ions, and then water is absorbed right around here. Then the fluid goes down into the descending loop of Henle, which is very permeable to water secretion. So water is typically absorbed right around here. If you follow the loop of Henle down, the solutes are typically reabsorbed on the ascending side of the loop of Henle, and those include sodium chloride and calcium ions. And the water in the descending loop is reabsorbed through osmosis. It will then travel up into the distal collecting tubule. The distant convoluted tubule, which absorbs solutes first, which include sodium chloride, calcium ions, bicarbonate ions, hydrogen ions, and then water is typically absorbed in the second loop. In the collecting duct and the collecting tubules, primarily what is reabsorbed is water, but sodium chloride and calcium are also reabsorbed in this area. So the third step of urine formation is secretion, and the proximal and distal convoluted tubules are the ones that secrete. In the proximal, you have it secreting uric acid, hydrogen ions, and any of the drugs that are in someone's system, whether that be from prescription or recreational, is typically secreted in this area here. Once you get to the distal side, what is secreted is hydrogen ions and potassium ions. Conservation is pretty much just basically the reabsorption of water in order to maintain homeostasis in the body. This happens in the collecting ducts and the collecting tubules. Fluid, as it moves down into the calyxes, the minor and major calyxes. It becomes less concentrated and then is able to be reabsorbed into the body through osmosis. So it tries to take in as much water as necessary for the body in order to maintain appropriate levels. The N component, which comes out here, which is called urine, is typically the excess water, sodium chloride, potassium, bicarbonate, creatine, urea, and then any excess calcium that is not needed or was not reabsorbed into the body. And that's it.